Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl, the SkkyZone. Guys, I'm back for Act 3 in the Ring. This one is entitled In the Ring. The Storm. When you get to be a best selling entertainer or a public figure, you're opening yourself up to attacks and lawsuits. When you're R. Kelly, everybody wants a piece. I mean, everybody. If you don't give them that piece, they'll find a way to get it out of you. One way or the other, they'll find a way. After you have lived long enough in the spotlight, someone will claim you did this, while another person will swear you did that. It's all part of the game. I knew that was coming in. I knew that coming in. During the 1990s, I got hit with a bunch of lawsuits from several people making false claims. These suits were called nuisance claims. And according to my attorneys, it would cost me more money to fight the suits than to settle. I'm going to repeat that. These claims were called, I'm trying to figure out which way that damn camera is because I know my eyes is looking another way. These claims, I think it's over here, are called nuisance claims. According to his attorney, it will cost him more money to fight these suits than to settle them. We heard this narrative before with Michael Jackson. The smartest thing would be to minimize the cost, or I'd wind up spending 10 times the amount fighting charges that could simply be settled out of court. I'm going to repeat that. The smartest thing would be to minimize the cost, or I'd wind up spending 10 times the amount fighting the charges. And some people probably not understanding that, because what happens is if he fight the charges and go back and forth to court each time, he has to keep on continuously going back, which could go for years and years and years and years and years, which that means he would have to continuously to pay attorney fees, court fees, and so on and so forth for years. It would simply be easier for him to settle them out of court. Doesn't make him guilty, just means that this was a simpler way and minimize a cost, a great expense to him. Because when you got someone accusing you, you pay both ends. Especially when you're R. Kelly or a celebrity. I followed my lawyer's counsel, but those suits were not about the truth. These people knew damn well that I hadn't done what they claimed, but they hooked up with slick lawyers and were only about getting paid. I didn't like doing it, but I settled. I've been blackmailed 1,000,000 times in my career. I've even sued for ridiculous stuff that defies common sense. Does the name Jay-Z and that tour, The Best of Both Worlds, ring a bell? Because he shows sues Jay-Z and they settled out of court for an undisclosed amount. But R. Kelly was suing him for $75 million for a breach of contract for that Best of Both Worlds tour. I can't say I'm used to it. You never get used to it. You just learn to expect it. A superstar becomes an ATM, especially if you're the only star in your family. Everybody wants something from you, and most people feel you owe it to them. Ain't that about a bitch? I'm the one standing up on the stage, sweating and shit and mixing all the music, figuring out the rhymes and everything, and now I owe your ass. You know how mother you are. Buy me a car, buy me a house, furnish my house, buy me another damn house. It goes on and on. When you help your homies, they don't think you helped enough. Oh, brother, I only can imagine, honey. Because that's just like when you hook people up. You could give somebody, let's say somebody hooks your ass up with a job. Let's say your good girlfriend gave you the dude you talking to now that marries your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? These people don't let you forget in the regular world. So you can just imagine how it is when you got millions of damn dollars. Motherfuckers ain't gonna let you. If it wasn't for me, she wouldn't even be married to that nigga. If it wasn't for him, she wouldn't have that goddamn job. You know, I just had somebody tell me a couple of weeks ago on some shit like that. They got somebody I know a job. And next thing I know, this person thought they should bombard their way into my world because they got somebody I know a fucking job. Ain't that about a bitch? And I should be indebted to him. And then the thing of it is, your debt is never paid when you deal with people like this. You ain't never done paying these motherfuckers. Like, when am I going to be paid in full when it come down to the deed, motherfucker? When? And we know this happens in the regular world. Can you imagine if you're RKelly? Let me finish reading. When you help your homies, you don't think you've helped them enough. So they dish you in the press. All that motherfucker RKelly thinks about is his motherfucking self. As he should. Okay? As he fucking should. For years, I tried to balance being a responsible family member and a loyal friend against the crazy demands on the part of folk trying to play me. And you know, goddamn well, like I said before in another read, that they was trying to play him because they can tell, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure people in his entourage, you know, I'm sure the word got out, you know he can't read, you know he don't know how to read that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they done went and ate out with the motherfucker. They done went to breakfast with him and all that type of shit. So they found out, oh, man, you know, read the menu. Oh, just get me. Or do they got, you know, he probably just, you know, limited to what he ordered and how they went about all that. The word got out. You know it did. It always seemed like if I gave someone something, it was never enough. If I gave them a lot, they wanted more. If I gave them more, they disappeared until they ran through what I gave them. Then they were back with their hands out. Not everyone, though, was trying to use me. You know what I'm saying? Some people that was around, they was on the up and up. Certain friends and family members showed me love without even attaching a price. They loved me for me, okay? Rob, man, you ain't got to do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Flat out. I'm going to be here no matter what. I ain't, you know. And that's just SkkyZone talking. You know what I mean? Hey, like I said to y'all before, I ain't never got to meet Mr. Kelly again. My deeds is from the heart and they're pure. But I already know how it is. Like I can only, like I said, I know. And ain't no devil like the black devils. Ain't no devils like these black ones, boy. But, you know, I can only freaking imagine. He said they never ask for anything, okay? These people who, you know, doing stuff out of their heart he's speaking of. They were concerned about his welfare. You know what I'm saying? You know people would never asking him, hey, Rob, how you feel today? Do you feel, you know, do you got a headache? How you know, are you tired? You're restless, baby? You know what I'm saying? Do you need some sleep? Did you sleep well last night? You know what I'm saying? Because when you a strong person, people don't think you ever get fucking weak. They don't think you need anything. Don't think your stomach hurt. You don't think you got a fucking headache. Maybe your legs need to be rubbed and shit. Maybe you need a motherfucker to go grab your ass a glass of fucking water. You know what I'm saying? You better believe everybody that was around him, he had to ask them for what the fuck he wanted. They didn't voluntarily ask this man for shit. As far as like his well-being. They didn't ask him, hey man, do you need a glass of water? Or hey Robert, do you need anything? You need your back rubbed? Or baby, what can I do for you? You know what I'm saying? No, he had to tell these motherfuckers. Because again, when you a strong person, people don't think you need any fucking thing. They feel like, shit, I wonder, did any of them motherfuckers go ask him, could they tune up some of them instruments? Shit, you know what I'm saying? Can I tune the piano and shit up? They didn't ask. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure 90% of the time he asks people to tune that shit up. Go tune the piano up, man. Go get the driver, go get the gas for the car and shit like that. They didn't ask him or tell him, hey man, I'll be right back. I'm about to go do this and that shit for you, man. You know, and if they felt like the man was sick, hell, they didn't say, man, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go run down there and grab you some motherfucking goddamn Theraflu and shit, dog, or some shit like that. You know, and I'm pretty sure it was people who did it, but it was very limited. Let's continue with the read. He said they never asked for anything. Again, talking about these people that were sincere. They were concerned about my welfare. They checked to make sure I was okay, not to see what they can get out of me. I love them even more for their genuine care and affection. Devotion minus the money motive equal pure love. Anyway, that was the 90s. Lots of annoying lawsuits, but they were all pretty much handled easily. But then, in 2002, a H-bomb was dropped on me after someone sent the Chicago Times a video that supposedly showed me having sex with a teenager. I was arrested and accused of child pornography. It didn't matter that there were real questions about the authenticity of the video or that the girl the prosecutors claimed was on the video insisted no way that it was her. Not one time did she say it was her, nor did her parents say it was her. Her grandparents said it wasn't none of her. And several family members said the same thing. That's not her. RKelly had a reputation, and RKelly had to pay, period. So, what if that reputation was a fictional creation of crazy ass music videos, sexy concert performances, and off the hook media hype that had nothing to do with who Robert Kelly really was? RKelly was going down. So we got RKelly, and then we got Robert Kelly over here. And RKelly, he had to fucking pay. I was looking at penalties involving long-term jail sentences. If I was found guilty, my career would be ruined in a single blow. Everything I had worked for would be taken away, and I'd be taken away. My kids would see their father as a criminal. I knew the charges was bullshit, man. I knew they were. I was the one that, you know what I'm saying, was innocent. So I knew. But none of that shit mattered. You know what I'm saying? When the media get a hold to you and money's on the table and money's at stake, people don't give a fuck about none of that. The press had a field day. News outlets began gathering rumors innuendos based on anonymous tips and interviews with supposed to be lovers, former employers, and associates who violated the charges against me, The media spread the lies with lightning fast and speed all over the world. I was presumed guilty long before my trial. The flurry of uppercuts, jabs, and body blows was unstoppable. They was whooping my ass faster than they got doggone Bruce Lee film that me and my brothers used to watch as kids. Before vowing not to participate in the media circus, I reacted like a woozy boxer throwing wild punches, hoping to slow the assault. In 2000, my manager and I parted ways. I thought we parted on a fairly decent terms, but I heard he sent a letter to a reporter, Jim Derogatis at the Sun-Times, claiming that he had suggested I get a a psychotic trip or psychiatric help for my supposed sexual addictions. I never found out if it was true, but it bothered me. I don't have to tell you though that the wheels of justice they grinded slowly. Okay, no justice was for me. The media had more fun trying to take down R. Kelly. Man, this case grinded so slow. I thought I'd lose my goddamn mind. Nearly 7 years it took them. 7 years of having to ask for permission of the court to go wherever I wanted to go. If I wanted to leave Chicago, I had to ask. If I wanted to go up the street, I had to ask. 7 years of lies, folks scandalizing my name, depicting me as a devil. 7 years of living with sharp edges of a knife sticking me over and over in my jugular, just going across my fucking neck. 7 years of sleepless nights and scary goddamn on dreams. I was facing jail, financial ruin, the end of my career, the loss of my fans, and the loss of all, most of all, respect and love. 7 years is a long motherfucking time to be facing that kind of nightmare, man. To be honest, I felt like I was already in jail throughout those years. A lot was taken from me. My pride, my damn dignity, my passport, and I don't even fucking fly. And a hell of a lot of money. It was a hell. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I wouldn't wish that on my worst fucking enemy. Throughout the ordeal, comments from many of my advisors went like this: Rob, you got to put a hold on your recordings, man. You just ain't going to be able to record right now. Don't tour until this legal mess is behind you, man. Don't make no music. Just sit down, man. Chill, okay? We can't afford, man. Just don't record nothing right now. Robert, this isn't not the time, okay? Don't write no shit about no goddamn sex. Don't put the word sex in no song. Don't sing about no bumping. Don't do no grinding. Don't do nothing. Retreat until this thing blows over, man. Just lay low. Blow like Hootie. The public isn't ready to accept any new material from you right now, Rob. Everything you write or say will be looked at as like some type of, you know, underage or some type of magnifying or some type of innuendos that you're trying to say some advancement to some young ass girls or some type of solicitation to women or lust. If they gonna view it all under a magnifying glass. Better to say, just don't do nothing, man. Just chill. I disagreed. The advice came out of concern for me, but I knew myself better than anyone. I couldn't see myself sitting around for years twiddling my damn thumbs while lawyers fight each other and court dates keeping me getting postponed and shit. The truth was, if I was gonna survive this ordeal, I needed my music to get through. They was not about to just close me up and put me in no goddamn box. Mentally, they wasn't going to close my music down for 7 years. This is the pulse and my impulse of my whole fucking life. I had to sing, I had to write, I had to produce, I had to tour. I had to connect with my fans, man. I had to work with other artists. I cannot just be still. Rather than retreat, I had to redouble my efforts, and I did. And for those 7 years while I was under this dark legal cloud, I went out there and I did more creative work than I have in any period of my damn life. I might have done twice as much damn work. I turned the fear to energy. I went to work with a vengeance. Sometimes negative situations can be more inspiring than positive ones. Struggle feeds passion. It fed my damn music, and I focused. Okay, if I simply focused on the negative I was going through, I would have just broken down, man. And I didn't. My music held me together. Not only did I need the outlet, The release from the anxiety brought on by these charges and vultures and witches and warlocks and shit. I also needed the pure joy that comes when I'm writing a song. Man, I needed the love that comes when I'm singing a song. I needed God, and God lives in my songs. God is strongest in me when I'm writing the melodies that He puts in my heart, man. You're wrong, Rob, said one advisor. You're exposing too much of yourself. You're making yourself more vulnerable. Good, good. I'm making myself more vulnerable than good. Because, goddamn it can't get no fucking worse than this shit. Good, I said. The more real that I am, the more powerful my music will be. In the face of these charges, I was determined to sing even louder and prouder. I was set out to make the most powerful music of my fucking life. The more real that I am, the more powerful my music will be. Period. I'm not about to close my mouth. I'm not about to sit down, and I'm not about to be quiet. Welcome to the Chocolate Factory. That's right. Welcome to the room I call the log cabin, the beating heart of my recording studio, the Chocolate Factory. For many years, the Chocolate Factory was nested in my basement of my home in Olympia Fields. The Chocolate Factory was my sanctuary, the place I could escape to when the weight of the world was bringing me down. And the weight often had me on my knees. The log cabin was where I recorded. It was made out of logs of all different type of woods. It was small, it was intimate, and it was cozy too. It was my safe haven. There's nothing fancy about the log cabin. I used the same mic I've used for years. I sing my vocals right there, where the engineers, they sitting right there too. So, that can give, if I had to get them the instruments, I could give them instructions, you know what I'm saying? I could play something on the keyboard or play one of my many instruments. I kept close, at my hand while I was recording, because while I'm singing, I'm also writing and producing. In the log cabin, you will also find my main engineers, okay? Ian and Abel Gabaldi, and my musical director and guitarist, Donnie Lyles. All of them worked with me for years. While I was hard at work in the log cabin, prosecutors were working overtime to build a bulletproof case against me. I can't tell you how many people making allegations against me at that time, but the same people who had asked me for some sort of favor were the same people who were making these allegations. A few of them were just pissed off that I told them no. No, man, I'm not about to, help you. I'm not about to do another favor for you. I'm not about to do any of that. So they got pissed. Sometimes people presented themselves as friends, or sometimes they was allies, or sometimes they just straight up was enemies. They just would be lying. I couldn't figure out why I was the only one who understood their motives. It was like thieves, wolves, sheep in wolves' clothing, or wolves rather in sheep's clothing. I could see right through them sometimes. If someone messes up and you have to fire them, of course they're going to be mad, okay? They're going to try to retaliate. You know what I'm saying? You got that at your job. Well, I got it at mine. The money they were getting, the fame, or whatever, disappears. So they not used to living that dry ass life that they living now. the one that they didn't imagine they would be living before they tried to come for so-called money and whatever they claimed that they felt like I owed them. So anything that comes up about you, they're gonna run and say, yeah, he did that to me, or yeah, I know that about him too. You know, I tell people who I thought were close to me, listen to the facts now. Listen to the facts. If you're going to have an opinion about something, make it your opinion. But whatever you do, don't go by somebody or something that was said, or go by something that was somebody pissed somebody off because they didn't get what they wanted from me. Don't go by that. Okay? Go by the facts. Thank God I had the chocolate factory though, because the chocolate factory kept me lifted up. It was a safe place where I could create and reach out for the sky. You know, I could reach it from my basement. You know, it was peaceful. As I faced the biggest challenges of my life and the brutal legal battle kicked off. I wanted to respond positively. I wanted to offer my fans and myself a big box of musical chocolates. I called the album Chocolate Factory and designed it in a gold foil with a bright red ribbon on top. Before the album came out, though, I wanted to release a single that explained where I was coming from. My life was on crutches, but I knew I'd walk again. I had many thoughts boiling up inside me. I needed them to get out. Mostly, though, I needed to walk with my mother. I missed her so much. That's why Heaven I Need a Hug starts with these words. Dear Mama, you wouldn't believe what I'm going through. But still, I got my head up just like I promised you. Ever since you left, your baby boy's been dealing with problem after problem. Tell me, what am I supposed to do? See, I lost some things. I lost sometimes. Don't understand this place. Look in the mirror sometimes and I see a troubled face. And then my tears roll down and hit the scene. Then I hold my head up high. I hope the man upstairs can hear my cry. All these questions deep inside my mind. Like if Jesus loved me, why'd he leave my side, Mama? I'm still trying to get the answer why. You were young, 45, and you had to die. I'm always trying to help people out, and it's these same damn people trying to take food out my mouth. It seems like the more I make money, the more drama y'all try to create. The more I try to move into the positive, the more y'all don't want me to live. Heaven, I need a hug. Is anybody out there willing to embrace a thug? Feeling like a change of heart? All I really need is a sign or a word from God. So shower down on me. Wet me with your love. I need you to take me and lift me up. Man, when I was through mixing the single, my people were telling me not to release it because of the court case, the rumors, the allegations, all of the naysayers, all of the negativity. Most radio stations had stopped playing my music. Naturally, that pissed me the fuck off. That made me mad, man. That meant they presumed I was already damn guilty. They already made me guilty. I was already being punished. That's why this song says, Heaven, I need a hug. You know, it was so important to me. But that's why you can't put it out there, said one of my advisors. You can't put it out there, man. Why? I said, why? Because they'll use it against you, man. They'll use it against you. What's the use? All I'm doing is praying to my mother and God for guidance, man. That's all I'm singing about. I'm just singing what's in my damn heart. That's it. Man, they'll twist it against you, Rob. They'll twist it against you and try to say that you confessing, man, you know, that he must be guilty. He made that song. Listen to the words. Listen to the words. Man, Rob, they're just gonna look for material to make you look bad, man. You do better to find yourself a preacher and start meeting with him. We'll be sure the newspapers know that you've got a spiritual advisor, okay, man? Man, I've always had a spiritual advisor. What is you talking about? Starting with my mother and continue with Pastor Lena McLean. I've always had a spiritual advisor. Man, it ain't don't try to tell me to get something I already to add. But I'm not about to hook up with some well-known preacher to make me look good, man. I ain't about to do all that now. I'm not about to play these old Jedi mind tricks and shit. I'm not going to use a preacher to help me with my image. My image is my music, okay? Not some phony public relations stunt. I'm not doing that, man. Look, Rob, 80% of all radio stations have banned you, man. Okay? Do you hear me, man? They banned your damn music. If you put this song out, hey, listen, it'll be 90%, okay? Nah, listen to me, man. I'm right. I didn't listen to him because I felt he was wrong. Fuck that, okay? When my fans heard my songs during my trial, flat out, they gonna be there for me. They gonna be there, okay? When my fans heard that music, hey, they gonna be by my side. I didn't want them to just hear a singer. I want them to hear a survivor. To me, it's just not about writing songs, man. I'm writing about life. Whatever the story, the emotion, the calling is at that moment. I feel obligated to share my music with my fans. I feel obligated to do that. I put Heaven, I Need a Thug, I put it out there anyway. And the response was strong, man. Radio stations played it because my fans wanted to hear it. They heard my sincerity. They saw I was wearing my heart on my sleeve. And they started to send me thousands of notes and letters, little by little. Man, I started to get airplay again. Slowly but surely, they started playing my music again. The hardest song on the Chocolate Factory album was Ignition. I revisit the metaphor. Man, I started with, like I did on You Remind Me of Something, you know, like a woman in a car. You know, I liked it so much, man, I took a break off a remix and I put it on the same album. In the remix, the groove got very danceable while the metaphors mixed together. It's the remix to the Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen, moaning, rolling that body, got every man in here wishing, sipping on coke and rum. I'm like, so what? I'm drunk. It's the freaking weekend, baby. About to have me some fun. You've lost your damn mind, Rob. What, man? What? Ignition remix. You can't release that. You can't release those lyrics, man. I can't change them either, man. Why? Because they go with the song. They go with the mood. I can't change that. Man, maybe, listen here, man. Listen, okay? Maybe you, man, but you got to change the title, okay? Maybe you could change the goddamn title. Given what you're facing now, man, you can't sing about sticking your key in no goddamn ignition. I don't see why not. Man, they'll crucify you, man. Okay? Are you not understanding this, man? I think the jam's so hot that they'll have to play it. They'll have to play it, man. The jam is hot, man. I think I'll get banned. I think I'll get you banned worse. I think it'll get you banned worse than forever, man. That's what I think. You'll get worse. You'll get banned worse than ever before. Hey man, listen here. I don't believe that. My fans, they love me. They gonna pressure the way. They gonna press the way. So I snuck the cut to a disc jockey and asked him to test it on the airways. Just give it a little try for me. You know what I'm saying? I was real cool with this guy. That same night, his phone line lit up like Christmas tree. People went crazy for it. I immediately made sure it was released all over the country. Excuse me. And the next thing I knew, it was sitting on top of the charts. The band against me had been smashed by the power of music. Ignition turned out to be a monster hit. It was important to me during the time to remain true to myself, to not sing about sex the way I had always sung about it would have been an admission of guilt as far as I was concerned. Since I wasn't guilty, win, lose, or draw, I was determined to stay true to myself. I was back, baby. Okay, I was back. The Chocolate Factory sold more than 3 million copies. But in coming back, though, I wanted to show all sides of life, love, and struggle. I also wanted to give something back to my city, and the case against me lingered on. I received letters and messages of support from all over the world. And I know you do, because I receive letters being a supporter for you. I received letters from the UK, Africa, London, Ireland. It's been a remarkable fucking journey, even though it's been some hell of a times. This is one chapter of my life that I'm very proud of. I'm making fucking history, me, SkkyZone. And I know some people like, oh, she up there, she stupid, she this and that. Oh, the naysayers, you know what I mean? But one thing about destiny, when it's your destiny, when God gives you destiny, it does come with a price. But when you have destiny, guess what? None of that, you see none of that at all. Just like his executive told him not to do this and shit, and his destiny out surpassed all of that. Like, man, I can't hear none of that. I gotta make this goddamn music. You know what I mean? Especially, like he said, he knew he wasn't guilty, so he like, look, you sound, all that sound crazy. It's ludicrous to him. Oh, gosh. He said, I also wanted to give something back to my city. As the case against me lingered on, I received letters and messages of support from all over the world. But in Chicago, I received a special, familiar, soulful kind of love. The kind that just keeps stepping to you no matter the betrayal, hard times, struggle, or doubt. I wanted to give the world the smoothest example of stepping, a Chicago dance style that I love. As I explained at the beginning of the remix of Step in the Name of Love, stepping is more than dancing. It's a whole culture. It's a way of life. It's choreographed romance, a special mellow feeling that flows between a couple when they're out on the dance floor. When you step, though, you step in the name of love. That's the important part. You're not just stepping to score with your lady. You're stepping and grooving in the name of love. And God is love. You're stepping, but you're also feeling his spirit, his grace, his rhymes, and his holy rhymes, his rhythms. You got to keep on stepping round and round, side by side, separate and bring it back. And if anyone asks you, we did it for love. That was my strategy. Beat the accusers, beat the prosecutors, beat the haters, beat them all with love. They didn't understand, see, they didn't understand that if you were hating on me, I got you beat because I'm going to keep loving on you. People kept asking, Rob, man, come on now, listen. How is it that can you keep on doing what you're doing with all this drama surrounding around you, man? How you keep doing it? It may sound weird, but I just kept on stepping, kept on creating, kept on loving. Love lit lighten my load. You know what I'm saying? Love is the greatest emotion in the world. Once I knew my people were with me, I was gonna feed them with the biggest RKelly banquet ever. I was gonna supersize my musical menu. In the same year the Chocolate Factory dropped, in 2003 when I turned 36, so did the R&B Collection Volume 1, a double disc, hot out the kitchen suite of remixes. As the court case built, as the accusations piled on, I knew I had to keep on moving. I had to keep keeping on. I had to stay focused. I had to stay strong. I knew I had to keep on hooping, keep releasing energy, and keep going back to the Chocolate Factory and making music. Love lightened my load. It truly did. Love lightened my load. And there's pictures of him in here stepping, from the stepping video. Okay, I'm gonna read one more chapter here. Best of both worlds. Best of both worlds. The vision I wanted to bring to life with Tupac still haunted me. I wanted to marry rap and R&B in a way the world would never forget. With Biggie and Tupac gone, though, I wasn't sure who could fill the bill. Who could help me fulfill this. There were strong rappers out there, but I needed the strongest at the time, okay? For some time, though, I had been working or, I had been rather thinking about, Jay-Z, okay? He'd been moving up the food chain and building his audience. Our relationship had been cool, you know what I mean? When he asked me to come off my download tour to shoot the video for Guilty till proven innocent, I said yes, okay? He came to the premiere party for my video, I Wish, a song from the 2001 Pt-10 album. After watching it, Jay said he thought I captured Tupac's vibe. And he asked if I wanted to work with him on something. At first, Jay was thinking that we would do a single together, but I suggested that we do an album. He was all for it. That's how Kels and Jay-Z collaboration began. I was excited. Okay, it was like, okay, bet it up, let's do it. Thinking that this could be the colossal R&B rap merger I've been dreaming of. We'd already done 2 collabos in 2000. I sung the chorus for Jay-Z's Guilty Till Proven Innocent. And in 2001, Jay-Z did a hot verse on the Fiesta remix. We cut an album together called The Best of Both Worlds. The best hip-hop meets the best of R&B. That was released in March 2002. We announced a tour that year to promote the album, but those plans were postponed after charges were issued against me. The following year, I'm sorry, my mouth is dry as hell, I need a sip. I was trying to hurry and get that motherfucker. That following year, Jay dropped his Black album and wanted to promote it. Just got back from Europe, he needed to fill up his giant venues around the country, and I knew I could help. The Best of Both Worlds did okay, but we both knew that the real money could be made if we toured together. And in 2004, the idea of us touring together and bringing the fans of the Best of Both Worlds tour is what really got my creative juices flowing again. Jay and I finished working on another album called Unfinished Business with some of the unreleased tracks from our 2002 collaboration and a couple of new songs. The plan was to promote unfinished business during the tour. I put all my energy into prepping and rehearsing for the Best of Both Worlds show. I had an idea for staging the opening frame. A video would run during its opening. Two tour buses, one with Jay, the other one with me. They would be run, that we would be on the run, pursued by police and media helicopters. One tour bus would crash through the scenery on the right side of the stage, and the other would crash through the left. Then we would join up in the middle of the stage and do a little track called The Best of Both Worlds as our opening number. Oh, that would have been lit. Jay didn't love this idea at first, but he finally came around. It turned out to be a spectacular opening. From there, though, things went downhill fast. Shit went left. The most persistent problem was lighting. Since the start of my touring career with Levert, I've always been highly sensitive to lighting. It can make or break a performance. My lighting had to be exactly right. That's why I said, Jay, let's settle on a mutual lighting guy, okay? Not your guy, not my guy, but a neutral guy. We don't gotta use your lighting guy. I don't gotta use my lighting guy. Let's get somebody we both don't know, and then that way it can be neutral, Jay. Let's do it like that. No problem. Jay agreed. He said, you know what? I think you're right. Well, somewhere down the line, Jay changed his goddamn mind. At the show, my lighting was all fucking wrong, and it was all fucked up. The guy wasn't picking up my cues. I'm like, man, put the light over here. The dramatic moments when the mood needed to be dark and mysterious or dim and sexy or up and happy were not lit to my satisfaction. Spotlights failed to find me on stage, and my dancers was missing cues and shit because of the lighting disconnects during our routines. I tried to contain myself though, you know what I'm saying? I tried to still keep it professional, but I was getting irritated in the motherfucker. But nothing means more to me than giving my fans an exceptional show. I threw a goddamn fit, flat out. I was pissed. I'm a guy who choreographs every move on stage, okay? Because I know my fans. I know what they want and I know what they expect out of me. Now, my fans couldn't see where I was on stage. They didn't know where the fuck I was. They trying to look for me. Is that Kelly over there? What the fuck? You see him? I knew I wasn't imagining things. They was trying to play me like I was losing my goddamn mind, but I knew I wasn't imagining things because I record every show, every tour, everything I do, I record it how it's going to be performed. So I can critique it the next day. So I already knew the lighting was fucked up. I knew my fans couldn't see me. Every Best of Both Worlds tour tape that I played back was extremely disappointing to me and didn't measure up to my standards because of the lighting. Finally, a crew member told me the truth, that the lighting guy was Jay's regular lighting guy. Not the nigga who we decided to use, the neutral person. So Jay, right then and there, was on some deceitful New York nigga shit. Excuse me, I'm sorry, but some of you New York ass motherfuckers can be deceitful, okay? For real. That's SkkyZone talking, not the book. Not all y'all New Yorkers, but some of y'all. Come on, because y'all, y'all go down there, y'all get them damn tourists down there and play that 3-card Molly with your deceitful motherfucking asses and play all the Jedi mind tricks. That's how you get gamed every time. Let me get back to the goddamn book. So somebody telling him that, listen here, Jay ass is on some bullshit because flat out that lighting guy, that was Jay's guy. And the question is, I have to ask, why would he be so deceitful? But remember, y'all, how when Jay left Dame Dash, he was deceitful with that business relationship too. So this seems to be his character. Let's continue. I went to see Jay so we could discuss the problems without a lot of middlemen involved. I was sure that that we could figure out a solution. I'm sure we can come to the meeting of the minds. I said, Jay, the tour is about making us both look good, man. It ain't about just making you look good, man. It's about both of us. I realize that, Rob, and I know you're unhappy, but there's not much I can do about it, man. We can find another guy to do the lights if that's what you want to do. But my guy, he's under contract. We stuck with him. So Jay trying to hook up all his goddamn Melly friends and shit on this goddamn tour. We talked some more. Promises were made that things would improve, and I left the meeting optimistic. Later, he came to me and asked, would you mind if I use that throne you built? Because, I had me a throne built up for the show. Go ahead and use it, I said, thinking that could calm the waters and get him to make his light man do right by me. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to be trying to sing and, I'm bumbling into my dances and stuff like that, or them falling down because they can't see each other because it's dark on stage, I went on ahead, because I'm not a malicious person. I had this big old throne built, it was a massive king of R&B chair, it was like a throne with the big high rise back and everything. I had it built all, dripped in gold and everything white. I used it during my middle segment in the show. Jay wanted to use it, I let him use it, The understanding was clear. After I used the chair, I leave it on stage so Jay could use it. That's what we agreed on. What happened though was that Jay people got the chair for Jay to use before I came out. As a result, people were thinking that I was biting off of Jay's style rather than the truth, that he was biting off of mine. So when I come out there, you know what I'm saying, they like, oh, he trying to be like Jay and call himself the king and sit in Jay's chair, the throne, not realizing that, hell, I'm the one who had my people build this damn chair, not him. Another thing, before the show, Jay made a big deal about putting up this big screen advertisement for his Black album. When I asked to have a big screen picture of the current RKelly record, his people said no. They told me no, I couldn't put up the big RKelly, showing off my new album or my record. They said they couldn't do it. But next thing I know, I look up, they got the big Black album up there. If the lighting had improved, man, I might have let all the bullshit go. But the lighting got worse. I did everything I could, man. I promise you I did. Even simplifying the lighting cues for my show so that I could at least have the bare minimum of lighting. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck it, I improvise. Just give me a little bit more. I'm cool. Because I really wanted this situation to be okay. But that didn't even work. It didn't even fix the situation. You know what I'm saying? At one point, I became so frustrated that I left the stage during the show in St. Louis and went to the place to give me comfort in times of trouble, McDonald's. But this time, I didn't go to eat. Instead, I asked the guy working through the drive-thru window if I can borrow his cap and uniform, and for the next 3 hours, I served Big Macs, fries, and Cokes to customers. Wow. As the tour went on, Jay's crew and mine were at each other's throats. Man, it was chaotic. Sets came to abrupt endings. Shows were canceled and all kinds of crazy shit popped off. It was wild. By the time we hit Jay's hometown, New York, everyone was on edge. I'm talking about it was tense. Considering the pending trial, the unnecessary drama, man, this shit was hard to handle. Right before the Madison Square Garden concert in October 2004, I received a threatening phone call. When Jay Z and I opened with our first act, there was a dude a few rows from the stage just glaring at me. You know, nigga looked grim. He opened up his coat in a way I considered threatening. I can't say for certain if he had a gun or not, but it was enough to put me on guard and mess up my groove. I'm sitting up here thinking because when you see the little clip, I'm gonna try to put it in this video. You know, when they do start singing that song, you could tell that Robert was just like, when they best up, they got both of them got the white on. You could tell Robert was, because the way he's singing, you can hear it. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of, you could hear it. He was performing, but he still was worried. You could hear it. When I returned from my solo set, there was another guy in the bleachers opening up his coat, gesturing like he had a pistol. When I left the stage for a costume change, I told my business manager and the promoter that I wasn't planning to risk my life finishing the show. The show's promoter convinced us that everything was cool and we can go back out. On my way back to the stage, a member of Jay-Z's crew pepper sprayed me dead in my goddamn face. Not only did he blast me, he got my booking agent and some of my crew members as well. I had to go to St. Vincent's Hospital by ambulance where they put little tubes in both of my eyes to flush out the chemicals so I wouldn't lose my sight. If I hadn't been wearing my stage stunners, the doctor said that I might have went blind. As I was leaving the hospital, I was met by a group of reporters all asking me if I heard what Jay-Z had said about me on the radio. I told the reporters I didn't know anything about it and that I had every intention of continuing on with the tour. It was only later that I found out that he had said that I was jealous and insecure and called my actions foolery. When I arrived at Madison Square Garden the following day with the tour buses and my band members, backup singers, dancers, we all were turned away and not allowed to enter the building. In the meantime, several of Jay-Z music friends had conveniently showed up to help Jay fill the show, and they called themselves replacing me. Even more conveniently, several friends who had been there the night before had finished the show while I was at the hospital. Jay-Z continued on the road without me. We found out later that the friends had booked their tour buses 2 weeks before the garden show. Now, how the hell and where the hell they do that at? Because I did find that awfully ironic that Usher just had to be, these people was just ironically there. Usher, Mary J. Blige, all these other people who Jay-Z had fitting, the Jay-Z and Friends so-called tour. Even when you listen to the interview, you could tell Jay-Z was on some bullshit. We found out they had these tour buses 2 weeks before the show. They had tour buses. Later, I issued a press statement. The fans deserve better than this. I like the show to go on. It's really disappointing that Jay-Z and the promoter don't. Charges, counter-charges, and lawsuits flew back and forth between me and Jay-Z, but neither one of us wanted to leave a bad taste in our fans' mouths. Our collaboration album, Unfinished Business, was officially released worldwide about a week before I left the tour. It debuted #1 on the Billboard 200 chart in 2004 and went on to become another platinum-selling album. Although the concerts came to an abrupt end, our album delivered the full Jay-Z, RKelly suite to friends. The truth is that although I'm a fan of his music, to this day, the business between me and Jay was unfinished. No, was finished, I'm sorry. He said, He said, the truth is that although I'm a fan of his music, to this day, the business between me and Jay was finished. Finished. Well, guys, I'm stopping here. And trying to see how many more chapters I got. I think about 2 or 3. Maybe. Let me see how many more chapters I got. No, I probably gotta do 2 more videos. This is like about 2 more videos. Yeah. There's about 2 more videos. If not 1, it's about 2 more. I'm gonna say 2. But anyway, guys, it's your girl, SkkyZone. I'll be back. Peace.